Hi all, welcome to my video. Uh, in my previous video we have discussed about solid design patterns and what all the solid design patterns means, and all about the 5 design patterns which are using in a solid design pattern. So basically in this video we are going to be discuss about one of the design patterns from the solid design patterns, and we will discuss by example and discuss uh, what is the problem which can be resolved by implementing the design pattern. So today we are going to be discuss the single responsibility design pattern, and we will discuss what would be the problem where we can use that particular single responsibility design pattern to solve the problems. So firstly we will discuss about some codes which have some kind of a problem which will be resolved by the single responsibility design pattern. So firstly we are going to be create one Java project. So we are just going to create one package. Now we are going to create one interface. Suppose that we are creating an interface employee operations. So as the name suggests, this particular interface should contain all the methods which are related to the employee or which will performed on the employee object. So we are going to define some methods. We just going to create one more class as an employee, and we are going to define few we are just defining three. We are just creating a getter and setter for the same. Okay, so now we have created one employee class which have 3 fields: id, employee name, and department name. There might be a class, a model class which have more than 3 fields. So I have just taken an example as a 3 fields. You can take an example of my more fields also. Okay, so now we are going to create one more method, that is content. Now we are firstly going to create one implemented class of this interface, and include our implementation. Give the body to the implemented class. Okay. Now, if we are going to see this particular method, what we are doing this in this particular method, we are saying that particular method will send the email to someone, either this employee or, and this particular employee will send the email to any other employee, and that would be the must be the email content. So as we have seen that this particular email content is in text format. For example, we have taken email content as text. Some other day or in future the requirement is goes changed, and that particular email content will be in HTML as well. So we have to create one more method for the same in this employee operation, and we have to create one more implementation over here. So as we have seen that these two methods are written for doing some operations on the employee object, and these methods, this method is created any operation performed by the employee, send the email. So as employee operation IMPL or employee operation interface says, this particular interface should contain all the methods which will have some kind of changes or do some operations on an employee object, not by the employee object, so that there would be only one region to change that particular interface, or adding any method or deleting any method for that particular interface, that any new operations added to make some changes from the for a employee object. Like on some day we add an operation update employee, here an employee detail is going to be update. So that particular method suggests that we are doing some operations on the employee object, not by the employee object. Okay, so this and this, all these three are mutually exclusive operations. In these three, doing changes on the employee object. And we can see that and this particular method is doing changes by the employee. So these two operations are mutually exclusive. So in single responsibility principle says that any class should have or should contain only a one responsibility. That means all the methods should not be mutually exclusive. So these two methods are mutually exclusive. all these three methods belongs to the employee object doing some changes on the employee object, and this particular send email operation is done by the employee. So we need to segregate that particular method somewhere else, so that if an email content is going to be changed, we don't need to be do any modification in the employee operations. So what we will do for that, we are now going to implement a single responsibility principle, so that we have created one more interface, that is email operation. And here what we will do, we will remove this method from here and put this particular method over here. Now we can make some changes over here also by saying type, or we can add one more method like that. So creating one more method is not a feasible solution. So we can either add one more parameter over here, that is type. So if an email sent in HTML format, that type should be HTML, or if the email sent in text format, that type should be text. Or we can more fine grain this particular code by creating one class, that is email detail, and here we will define the content and provide the metadata for the same, and that particular employee detail, we will pass that employee detail over here. That on that email detail. And this particular interface we can define over here, sorry, not over here. We have to save that particular class so that the error will resolve. I'm going to remove this particular method, as we have removed the method from the interface. Okay, so now what we have to do, we have to give the implementation for this particular interface. And we will provide the body over here for the interface. In that way we did the segregation of that particular method class. Now if we can see this example, this particular employee operation interface have only those methods which are doing any operation on the employee object. There is no other mutually exclusive method over here. So mutually exclusive means two methods which are not related on the same object, or which are totally different. Here all these three are not mutually exclusive because we are performing in all the operations on the employee object. And if we talk about the send email method, then send email method is performed by the employee object. It is not going to be performed on the employee object. It is not going to be changed in employee details anyway. Okay, so we have segregated this particular logic by using single responsibility principle. I hope you will understand the problem. This video is going to be bigger, so we will put other things into next video. Thank you.